Do you know that Princess Anisha of Brunei, who recently married the popular Prince Mateen, is facing intense scrutiny as secrets from her past resurface? From her international lifestyle and high-profile photos to a history that clashes with the strict values of her new royal family, these revelations have triggered a wave of backlash. But will this royal couple's bond withstand the storm, or will these shocking revelations create a permanent divide? Well, this is Lux Diaries. Before we continue, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for more videos like this. Now let's uncover the truth. Princess Anisha wasn't always a figure surrounded by royal expectations and traditional values. Her story started far from Brunei, in the multicultural city of London, where she was born to a Croatian father and a Bruneian Malay mother. She grew up with influences from both East and West, so enabling her to live a life embracing many cultures and ways of thinking from both sides. Her early years were marked by a world free of inquiry, curiosity, and autonomy. She opened even more horizons as she grew older and decided to study in Europe. While studying European languages and civilizations, she worked toward her degree at the University of Bath in the United Kingdom. Her studies brought her from the Bath classroom halls to the busy streets of Madrid and the chic Parisian suburbs. Living and learning in these cities gave Anisha a mix of experiences: freedom, creativity, and a taste for modernism, all of which helped define her perspective on life. Bound by custom, this was not the life of someone grown within a royal family. It was a life full of varied interactions and fresh ideas. This was the time her entrepreneurial energy peaked. Passionate about travel and fashion, she co-founded Silk Collective, a fashion company seeking to combine elegance with cultural influence. She also started Authenticary, a travel agency dedicated to provide customers distinctive cultural encounters all throughout the world. These projects highlighted Anisha's inventiveness and ambition, therefore defining her as a successful person in her own right long before she became a princess. But joining Brunei's royal family means entering a world where public responsibilities carry very certain expectations, particularly for women. For Brunei's residents, particularly the royal family, some moral guidelines and modesty are not only promoted but also rather expected. With time, her unusual past began to call attention when her relationship with Prince Mateen emerged under public view. Could someone with such a free-spirited upbringing really fit Brunei's royal traditions? And so, Anisha entered her new role, her past still part of her, yet stepping forward into a future where every choice would be weighed not only by a nation, but also by a global audience. So, as Princess Anisha entered Brunei's royal family, she stepped into a world guided by centuries-old customs and values. Brunei is a small yet deeply influential nation, where Islam is not only the state religion, but a way of life for the majority. For the royal family, upholding these religious values is of utmost importance, and each member is seen as a symbol of these ideals. This has shaped the nation's expectations of Anisha's new role and the cultural weight she now carries as a princess. The people of Brunei take pride in their Islamic heritage, and for them, modesty, humility, and respect for tradition are core values. Bruneian society places high importance on following Islamic teachings, particularly for those in the public eye, like the royal family. As a royal, Anisha is expected to represent this commitment, especially in her behavior, appearance, and interactions with the public. And in Brunei, where the line between private life and public role is often thin, this expectation can be felt in nearly every aspect of daily life for a royal. Her father-in-law, Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah, has led Brunei for decades and is known for his dedication to preserving the country's Islamic identity. As one of the wealthiest monarchs in the world, his influence reaches far beyond Brunei, allowing him to shape the nation's image on a global scale. Under his leadership, the royal family embodies both Brunei's religious devotion and its values of honor and decorum. It's a lifestyle that requires discipline, where even small actions carry significance in representing the royal family. For Anisha, coming from a multicultural and modern upbringing, the shift into these deeply traditional roles comes with its own set of challenges. She is expected to uphold Brunei's customs, dressing and behaving in ways that reflect the country's values, especially around modesty. As she takes on the public role of princess, every appearance, gesture, and word she says is seen as a reflection of Brunei's standards. For someone who lived in a world of cultural diversity and individual freedom, stepping into a royal life defined by tradition and modesty requires adaptation, patience, and a willingness to embrace a new set of values. So now you might be wondering, what was the shocking revelation? Not long after her wedding to Prince Mateen, secrets from Princess Anisha's past began to circulate, sparking discussions across Brunei and beyond. Her life before joining the royal family was filled with moments that, while unremarkable in other parts of the world, challenged Bruneian traditions. Images appeared depicting Anisha in environments that suggested a different way of life, one that ran counter to the traditional image Brunei regards for its royal members. These pictures showed Anisha in her early years and throughout her time studying overseas, clothed in manner Brunei's customs find too provocative for a princess. Images of her in swimsuit or interacting in nightlife environments drew off a response, particularly in Brunei, where modesty is much prized. Within no time, opinions circulated rapidly as the public looked at these pictures, wondering how someone with such a free-spirited history could now represent a family recognized for their rigorous devotion to Islamic beliefs. There was more debate than merely the pictures. Specific information regarding Anisha's past relationships also surfaced, exposing time spent with past boyfriends. These disclosures felt quite out of place in a conservative nation like Brunei, where public personalities are held to a great moral standard. And for a nation that reveres the royal family, even such personal choices became a matter of public debate. More than just images, her lifestyle choices also became points of contention. She was seen in photos using hookah, enjoying a night out, and even holding a drink in her hand. These events caused disturbance in a nation like Brunei, where Islamic values are strongly followed since they contradict the royal family's image. Every one of these peeks into her past attracted fresh interest, and Bruneian society was left to deal with the reality that their new princess had a past very different from their ideals. For Anisha, these disclosures did not quite mirror her present, though. Still, they started to cause friction in her new job as Princess of Brunei. Her past and present obligations only served to stress the difficulty she encounters, negotiating the expectations of her royal obligations while handling a history the country finds difficult to embrace. Later on, Anisha was enough motivated by the criticism to remove her own social media accounts, so distancing herself from the online environment she used to freely access. Still, the discussion went on, and the internet kept distributing pictures and memories of her past, even without her around. Her life was suddenly accessible to everyone, hence her personal experiences were open to public view and vulnerable. The disclosures felt to the Brunei people, especially those with strong traditional beliefs, as a violation of their expectations for a royal person. In this sense, social media turned into a magnifying glass, accentuating every critique and concentrating every element. Anisha's change from private citizen to public royal figure was abrupt, and the reaction she encountered just got louder, adding to the already heavy demands she had to manage in her new existence as Brunei's princess. So, was all this just a cultural clash? Is she a modern princess in a traditional society? You see, she came from a background shaped by multicultural influences, and her time studying and working abroad allowed her to embrace a lifestyle that valued personal freedom and self-expression. Yet now, as the wife of Prince Mateen, she faces a new reality filled with expectations to uphold Bruneian traditions and Islamic principles, ones that don't always align with the values she grew up with. The Bruneian royal family holds a significant role in representing the nation's identity, so every action of each family member is seen as a reflection of Brunei's values. For a country deeply connected to its Islamic beliefs and customs, adapting to this role is particularly challenging for someone who has known a life of Western freedoms. Her narrative mirrors the difficulties other modern royals who wed into conventional families experience. Jordan's Crown Princess Raja, for example, likewise battled between her way of life and the austere rules required of a royal. Like Anisha, she had to become used to a life where the royal institution itself, as well as the public, watched every action she made. Although Brunei is not alone in this cultural collision, it emphasizes the challenging journey modern women must travel when they enter a position limited by custom. Finding a mix between her uniqueness and her royal obligations has grown delicate for Anisha. Undeniably, the world watches to see how she will handle these demands. Anyway, as she continues her journey, balancing tradition with her unique perspective, one question remains. Can a modern spirit truly thrive in the heart of Brunei's royal legacy, or will the weight of tradition reshape her path forever? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more fascinating videos like this one.